Good morning, students. Here today we are going to see the chapter 7, Geography, that is a human environment, settlement, transport, and communication. Children, whenever you see the human environment, then you will find the settlement also, transport, and communication also. So today we will read the chapter 7, that is a human environment, settlement, transport, and communication. The evaluation of human beings depends on entirely on a nature. Okay, it is depend on a nature for a food, clothing, shelter. But with the same time, they learn new skill, grow food, building homes, developments, and means of transport. Children in ancient time they used to depend on the nature, but slowly the technology came to the world, then it became the new skill came for to grow the food, building homes and development and transport. Okay, and then now we'll see the settlements. Now settlements are the place where people build their home. Early human beings lived in a trees and caves. Now early about this in 6th class we already learned about the early men in ancient people. So they used to live where? On the trees, caves and in the forest. When they started to grow crops, it became necessary to have permanent home. When they start, before they were not starting the growing the crops, wherever they went they grow the crop and so on. But when they became necessary, then they started to grow crops and they started to make the homes. Settlement flourished and civilization developed near river valleys because of easy water. Because of easy water, they could do the agriculture nicely. So they mostly the people in ancient time, the people used to go and stay near the water, wherever the water is available, and land is fertile like a older civilization, and that grew long back river. The common and manufacturing human with the development and trade. With the development and trade, commerce and manufacturing human settlement became the larger. When it becomes the larger because of manufacturing and trade, it developed up the trade and commerce and manufacturing, then it became a more larger and larger. Now we will see the type of settlements. There are two types of settlements, that is temporary and permanent. What is the mean of temporary? Now I am sure you have understood the temporary means for some times. They are those settlements which are occupied for short time. It is a short time occupied, and because of that, that is called the temporary settlement. The people living in deep forest, okay, in older ancient time, the people used to live in the older deep forest, hot and cold desert and mountains, often dwell in the settlements. They practice hunting, gathering, shifting, cultivation and transfumes. Okay, during that time, this temporary time, they did not have proper houses, anything proper work. So they, wherever they used to go, they used to do the where they used to build the house, make the house with the mud and so on, mud, stone and so on, and they used to stay in the forest and the mountain, and then they used to practice the hunting. In olden time, they used to do hunting, gathering and shifting cultivation was done during those time. Now permanent settlement. Now permanent settlement, what it is? A permanent settlement where you stay permanent. You make your house and you are staying for a purpose of a or a purpose of doing the work, and for this people build home to live in that. And then for the example, this permanent settlement also divided into two parts, that is a rural and a urban. Rural area, in rural area people build houses to environment, they are called rural settlement. In regions of heavy rainfall, houses have a sheltering roofs, places where the water accumulates in the rainy season. The houses are constructed a raised platform, sits thick mud wall houses, thatched roof. They are common in area of a hot climate. In a rural area, in the houses was kacha house. That house is used to make by the mud, stone and thrush and this kind of thing, grass and so on. The villages are rural settlement where people engage with the activity like agriculture, fishing, forestry, craft work and trading, etc. Now in the village people what they do? Village people they do the most of the time they engage with the activity with the agriculture, fishing and forest and craft and some trading, that is a small trading things, small companies, the raw materials things they start doing. The rural settlements can be combined or scattered. It is a combined settlement is a closely built area of dwelling wherever flat and land is available. Wherever flat and land is available, the rural area people, villages are settled over there. In the scattered settlement, dwelling and spread over an extensive area, types of settlements is mostly found in a hill tracts, thick forest and region of extreme climate. This kind of people stay in the, mostly they are found in the hilly tracts and a thick forest. These people stay in that place and that climate also is extremely climate. Okay. Now we see the urban settlement. The urban settlement, the town are small and cities are larger. Urban settlements, in urban areas, the people are engaged in manufacturing, trading and services. The urban, now you can see the urban settlement. Now we are in urban settlements, children. We came from the village, our parents are the generation to generation came from village and they came and they settled into the urban, that is urban means city or town, small city or town. We, our parents or they came to join here to work as a service or a trader or a manufacturing small factories. Yeah, because of that these urban settlement came into being. Now we will see the transport. Now we see the transport about the past and at present. What happened? Transport is the mean by which people and goods moves in the early days. Okay, it took great deal of time to travel long distance. People had to walk and used animal to carry their goods. Invention of the wheel made transport easy. During those in early age, what they used to do, people used to transport their goods by animals like a donkey, camels and so on they used to use. But after the invention of the wheel made the transport easy. With the passage on time, different means of transport developed, but even today people use animal to transport. Even today also, now also you can see like a Banjaras, they are coming on they bring the camels or they bring donkeys and elephant, they bring their goods on them till today also, and they use this means of transfer till today. In our country, donkeys, mules, bullocks and camels are common. These things I must have seen everywhere. In our country, we use donkeys, mules, bullocks. But nowadays, you may be not seeing bullocks much, and camels are common in the mountains in South America. The early traders from their country used to take several months to reach India. The from abroad, like America, like a Vasco da Gama. In last chapter we have seen Vasco da Gama and Columbus, how they took long time to come to India. Many months they took to come to India, and they took either the sea route or the land route. They come to the sea route or the land route. Who came? The Columbus and Vasco da Gama came by the sea route, and they only found the sea route first. After the advantage of the aeroplane traveling became faster, and it is only takes 6 to 8 hours to travel from India to Europe. Modern means of transport thus saves the time and energy. Now the airways started, then it takes, this is the most advantage that we get, that is a traveling became a more faster, and it takes only 6 to 8 hours from coming from Europe to India, and modern means of transfer thus saves the time also and energy also. It takes, in the olden days that used to take long time, and they never used to save the time and energy. It used to take long of time and energy. Now we will see in modern human environment, that is a means of transport. Now there are means of transport, there are 4 types of means of transport, children. That is a roadways, railways, waterways and airways. Now you can see the transport roadways. On the road, what things can be travel? That is a car, motorcycle, bicycle, so many things, and bullock carts also, that is coming on the roadside. And railways carry the heavy loads from one place to another place. It is easy to go one place to another place. And now third one is a waterways, that is a sea route, and airways, that is a aeroplane. Now we will see the roadways. The most commonly used means of transport, especially for the short distance, are road that might be pakka or a kacha road. Okay, the plane have a dense network of roads. Roads has been built in terrains like a desert, forest and even high mountains. So subways, underpath and build the underground, the road wherever the flyovers the built over the raised and structure. Now so many roads are built. Now everywhere you can see four ways on the road, and that is now we can travel easy, but there is a lot of accident taking place because of carelessness of our people. Now we will see the railway. The railway carry heavy goods and people over long distance quickly and cheaply. The invention of the steam engine and revolution helped is speedy development of rail transport. Diesel and electric engines have largely replaced the steam engine. In olden time there was a steam engine, but now there is a diesel and electric engine have a large replace for the engine. In place of super fast trains have been introduced to make a journey fast. Now super fast trains. Now from here you must have seen so many places. You have must also traveled by the super fast train. As to go from one place to another place, it is a making our journey more faster. Now we'll see the railway network is a well development over the plain area. Okay, then but these are such fewer in number. India Railway network is a well developed and it is the largest in Asia. In Asia, the India has the largest rail route. Now we'll see the waterways. Waterways are the cheapest of carrying heavy and bulky goods over long distance. They are mainly of two types: inland waterways and sea routes. These are the things. They are mainly two types: land waterways and the sea route. Inland waterways. It takes lakes are used for inland waters. For example, Ganga, Brahmaputra river stem the Great Lakes and the North America and the river of Nile in Africa. Now you will see about the sea route. These routes are mostly used for transporting the merchandise and goods from one country to another. These routes are connected with the ports. Singapore and Mumbai in Asia, New York, these are the sea routes. Singapore and Mumbai. In Asia, the Singapore and Mumbai is the Asia, in Asia, and then there is a North America and South America, Durban and Cape Town in Africa. So these are the Europe are the important ports of the world. Now, always it is a development in the early 20th century and it is the fast way of transfer. This is a airways, okay? This is a airways it takes not much time and it save our energy and time too. Air traffic is advanced and attracted by the bad weather like fog and storms. It is the only mode of transfer to reach the most remote and distant areas, especially where there is no roads and railways. This airways is always where there is no airways can go, no train, no roadways can go, no waterways can go, and these are the specially no railways also can go. There we use the airways. Helicopter is extremely useful in the most instable areas in time of climates. People and disturbing food, water, clothes and medicine. When some calamity take place, then helicopter is there always. That is running in the airways, not on the roadways, not in the rail, but it is a airways. Delhi, Mumbai, New York, London, Paris, these are the important airports of the world. Now we will see the communication. Human environment, we saw the different types of settlement, then types of transport. Now we will see the means of communication. My dear students, there is no need for me to explain much more about the communication because you know much more than me about the communication. Now today's in this 20th century, there is a communication is the fast of conveying the message, meaning from one entirely of the group to another through this mutually understand understood sign, symbol and symbolic rules. The main steps inherent to all communications are the formation of the communicative this is a message, and especially nowadays we use the mobile, email and internet, data. These so many things nowadays we are using to communicate one person to another person from one country to another country within a second or a minute. So dear students, now you will understand, you understood this chapter and study well and prepare for your term 2 exam. Thank you and have a nice day.